All right, hi everybody. It is around 6:45 early on this Monday evening. I'm meteorologist David Glenn here in the News Channel 9 Streaming Center. Want to give you a brief update on what's happening out there as far as the rain and storms that we're tracking. This won't be a long update, but if you happen to miss our newscast, maybe you just get inside from work because of some delayed traffic with the rain. Want to give you an update on what to anticipate the rest of the evening hours. Unfortunately, as I mentioned on air and on our afternoon streaming session, this is nothing like 2 days ago. Okay. Rain, lightning, and some excessive runoff out there is impacting outdoor plans, but it's not nearly as severe as 2 nights ago. And this is primarily what we're going to have is early evening, and then things rapidly improve the rest of the nighttime hours, which of course I know for a lot of you is some good news. We have a couple of sunny days coming up to follow. So finally a break from this pattern. We'll get some sogginess back by the weekend, but I don't think as intense as what we've just had, especially from the weekend, going back even to last Friday and the days before that. So thanks so much for watching this live stream. If you happen to be watching this recorded and later on, again, this is at 6:45 p.m. Eastern time, Monday, June the 9th. So again, a lot calmer situation, but I want to give you kind of an outline of what's happening out there on the radar view, what to anticipate and what to expect for the rest of the nighttime hours. So let's get right to it here. And I'll show you the radar view. If you look at the loop going by, you see a couple of advisory polygons here. These are a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. And I'll show you the velocity scan where a lot of this is staying well below severe thresholds. Yeah, a little windy, rainy, and lightning, but for the most part, not a severe storm situation. But nevertheless, a couple of advisories right along that line. And back behind the line, it's mainly just some downpours and no wind with that. And then farther behind that, things are a lot calmer. So it's going to be a lot better as the nighttime hours go on. But let's zoom in, first of all, around the city. And we'll show you again, we've had some downpours around the city, occasional lightning, though nothing severe with that. But we have more rain to go. Between now and 8 o'clock, pretty wet. One advisory here, and it's a line that basically stretches. If you go from, say, 411 right here, Etowah, Inglewood, and down to Western Polk, all the way down to Varnell, just near Rocky Face. That line right there has got some wind gust potential with it, 30, 40 miles an hour. That's why these advisories are out. For example, this advisory out through Murray County till 7:30. And again, wind gusts up to 40, maybe a little pea-sized hail, but that's well below severe threshold. But it's just letting you know that, hey, it's going to get a little loud out there and a little windy. Same thing eastward to the state line till 7 o'clock. Again, wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. So let's take a look at the quick look at the velocity scan with that. And we'll look here around Tunnel Hill to Varnell. Very heavy rain there, approaching Rocky Face. And we see these deep red shades just south of Ringgold to Tunnel Hill. You got some burst of wind there above the surface. So this is just, some wind gusts above the surface approaching 40 miles an hour. So easily at the surface, 30 to 40, reaching there. So it's a little windy there. But your threshold for severe thunderstorms is 58 miles an hour. So we're a good deal below that, thankfully, but still that's enough. 30 to 40 could bring down a limb, bring down a tree because of the very saturated ground. So we're still mindful of that. And there's reasons why these little advisories are out. Let's move toward Varnell and near the state line. Same thing. You see these pockets of bright red right along the Catoosa and Whitfield County line. And just give you another example. Uppers around 40. So again, that meets that threshold while that advisory is also 40 miles an hour. A little windy out there. Let's go up this line just a little bit toward the Bradley and Polk County line. You can see some downpours, a few lightning strikes with that. And let's see. We mentioned those pockets right in here, close to 40. Right in here, about the same thing up towards Ocoee. Excuse me. So we'll keep an eye on that. But so far, staying below severe thresholds. And there's a fresh radar update there. Let's take a look at that again. You see little bright pockets of red. That's about 35 to 40 in that range right in there. So pretty windy there. But below severe thresholds. Everything else here, Athens to Sweetwater, things are calming down. The wind, at least where the stronger gusts are, is exiting east of Etowah. So heads up Technical Plains, a little windy with more rain. But right here, Decatur, Athens, Sweetwater, 10 Mile, Spring City, Dayton, this is all just rain. And you'll be aware of some lightning, but not severe. There's just more rain coming down. Look at that. Things are clearing out at Mud Eagle. Give it about during the 7 o'clock hour Dunlap, you'll start clearing out Tracy City. So things are looking better. Heavy rain from South Pittsburgh all the way to Nickajack Lake. That'll be approaching downtown. Some more heavy rain to go. Not much lightning with that, but I'd still be aware of that. That goes down to Trenton, Tiftonia area. Chickamauga, you're going to get some more downpours. Same thing for Oglethorpe, but again, nothing severe. Then we get down here. Let's check out this. Going from Eider to Valley Head. That'll be crossing into areas south of Rising Fawn and Dade County and southern Walker. And so again, these are advisories. That's out to about 7:15. Again, gust up to 40. With some heavy downpours of rain. That extends into northern Chattooga County. Let's take a look inside the velocity scan there. And you can see some pockets of bright red near Valley Head. 30. That's in that 35 to 40 range. So again, around 30. So again, you got some gusts there. A little windy, a little rainy, but for the most part, it's below that severe threshold. That's a good thing. And that is all headed toward the east and southeast. But aside from that, things are below severe levels. This was a little stronger, this line here. Heads up in Dalton, just going to get a little windy and rainy. But let's get that one more time. Here we go. You can still see it in and around Varnell, some pockets there, which is close to 40. Yeah, same thing. And so some pockets of wind there. And we go up here into southern Bradley or eastern Bradley, western Polk. Same thing there. Upwards of 30 to 40 above the surface. That'll be starting to get some terrain effects there also in Polk County, south of 64. So a little upslope there into the mountains there. But everything else below severe levels, which is how we like it. Heavy days. Raining buckets in Lafayette. Again, not severe. And about to cross the state line out of DeKalb and Jackson County. But again, these advisories are out, I believe, 7:15. So just to let you know that wind gusts upwards of 40 and strong wind gusts are possible with that. Looking at some of the comments here. Steve says there's rain in Harrison, and you're not far from us. And yeah, we're still getting a lot of rain. Nina says, looking from northwest, my back porch from Murray County. You can see the darkening skies, I'm sure, with the rain coming in. Hello, Sharon, watching from Ottawa. Hey, Glinda. Hey, Felicia. Hello, Beverly. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Kathy. Hello, Mickey. Hello, Linda. Hey, Ronald. And hello, Luana. Thanks for watching. And again, this is not going to be a rather lengthy storm tracking that we usually do because these are below severe levels. But I just want to give you an update if you happen to miss our earlier broadcast tonight. I just want to get you caught up on what's happening with these lines moving on by. It's going to be a rainy early to mid-evening, and I would say during the 8 to 9 o'clock hour, all this is exiting off to the east, and things will be improving greatly. In fact, again, I mentioned parts of Grundy County, western Sequatchie, far northwestern Marion, things are rapidly improving. And as we go through the night tonight, the heavier rain, it's going to start moving out, and we'll, start to see some improving conditions overnight. Watch for dense fog overnight, but not anything like this. And again, what we're seeing tonight, I know you see the dark reds on there. It's nothing like what we had on Saturday, thankfully. It's a lot calmer there. But I just wanted to keep you up to speed on what's happening. Let me look at a different scan out of Morristown here. So again, the strongest locally at the moment is right about here. Stretches from Dalton to about Tunnel Hill, Varnell, all the way into Polk County and all the way into southern parts of Monroe County, right about there. And that's got some wind gusts with it upwards around 35 to 40. It's about to encounter the higher terrain. So as you can imagine, some upslope flow will, make the wind a little stronger, some of the higher terrain there. And of course, heavier pockets of rain falling in those valley pockets. It'll be, some heavier downpours. Risk of a little bit of minor flooding, I should add. And then in here, same thing. We just showed you the velocity scan 30 to 40 in those areas. Let's see. Linda asking anything headed to Lafayette. Well, Lafayette getting some downpours right now. And you're going to have more downpours coming your way. The breeze may pick up a bit, but this is not severe rolling in toward Lafayette. So you're going to have pretty wet weather between now and 8 o'clock through 8. I think after 8 o'clock, things improve quite a bit in Lafayette. Okay. Well, let's take a look again at the velocity scan to show you again the winds approaching Dalton, Tunnel Hill area, where you see the pockets of bright red, real bright red, 35 to 40. So we're not seeing rotation with that, just mainly straight line winds. And just to show you again, I'll put a pause point here. And we'll look inside of it. So again, around 40. That's above the surface. So probably 35 to 40 at the surface. Same thing over near Cisco. You can see the bright red right in here, right along 411 there, around the Polk and the Murray County line. Near Highway 2, 411. So some pretty good gusts, 35, 25, 35. But again, that's above the surface. Pretty windy, pretty breezy. Let's go into Polk County. Storm strengthening a bit, maybe some broad rotation in the storm. The storm itself is kind of more ragged, kind of on the outer edge of the radius of the velocity scan there, but it's also going into the higher terrain over there near Chilhowie and a Big Frog Mountain area. So some upslope flow there in Polk County. And same thing, you see some gust. A little bit lower, but still there was a gust potential a second ago, 30 to 40. It's kind of on the radius of the radar there. And then here in Tellico Plains, you can also see again, that's the same thing. South of Tellico Plains, you got some gust potential upwards around 40. Not much wind around Athens with this. Yeah. More deeper red, not the bright red. Everything else here up to Sweetwater, Madisonville, 10 Mile, Decatur, Spring City. I'll take you on a tour. Everybody else just rain. Nothing severe for a change, right? And you get near Fall Creek Falls on the outer edge where it's clearing out. Crossville's cleared out. Spencer and Van Buren County clearing out. Dunlap, you're about to have the rain end. Aller Grundy ascended. Mount Eagle ascended. Whitwell, South Pittsburgh, you're about to have it all end for you there, the rain, that is. And western part of Jackson County, west of 72, things have cleared out. But still raining pretty heavily here along the, let's see, DeKalb, Jackson, Dade, Walker, Chattooga line. There's 5 county lines right in there. But again, that little advisory out for wind gusts upwards of 40 continues there. And let's see. You can see those bright pockets. Watch how it kind of fans out there. See that kind of, get my cursor there. That kind of bows out right there at the end. It's like that. There's some gusts that are going to come through right on top of Lookout, approaching Mountain Cove Farm area, approaching Menlo, and approaching Somerville. So you got some wind gust. You can see how it kind of goes just like that. All right. So that's got some Some good gusts with it heading off to the east and southeast. And we'll look at the wind speed of that. And that's still probably in that 40 mile an hour range. 30, 31. So it's blowing a bit, and probably a little bit more noticeable at the higher elevations there. But be aware, Somerville, Tryon, Center Post in southern Walker County, and even Lafayette, you got the wind gusts kind of pick up a bit. A little windy, a little rainy. Just saw a comment, Shannon asking, anything coming overnight? No, overnight it's going to be a lot. But this is our main event right now. And by mid-evening, a lot of this is going to be moving out. And 8 to 9 o'clock hour, it's all going to be exiting off to the east. Things are better overnight, some patchy fog overnight. Then we have sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Yay. A lot better. There's the 1 hour loop moving along pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Heavy rain moving through Polk. Northern parts of Murray, about to enter Fannin and Gilman County. In the city, I mean, just some light rain coming back, but in the city, we're all good right now. We're all good. You can see very heavy rain there, right along 411 Polk, down to Murray County. You know, we were tracking the wind there a little bit, and you can still see some gusts. It's still obscured there. That purple, that's the outer radius of the high top radar. So just ignore that. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. I mentioned that in previous updates, but over near Cisco, 44, 45. So again, a little bit upslope there coming up off the mountain there. So a little bit stronger there. Could be impacting the wind speeds. So it's pretty windy there. Strong gust and heavy downpours of rain. That's winds above the surface. But again, it's some of the higher terrain. You get into those higher mountain areas that run between 2,000 and 4,000 feet. You're probably encountering those stronger gusts. And a little bit of lightning there also occurring. Northern Murray into the mountains. Here's a new advisory here, which I think is going to extend beyond the state line. Yeah, just beyond it there. New advisory here for this part of Polk and part of Cherokee County, North Carolina. Storm moving east at 25. I'll show you a tracker. And going to have wind gusts upwards of 40, even a little bit of pea-size scale with that. Can't be ruled out. I should just show the velocity scan. Gust around 40 are possible. Let's put a little tracker on this for you. And we'll track the strongest line here because that'll be impacting Fannin County also. Wouldn't be surprised to see them put another advisory out there. But at least at 25. Here you go. Here's an estimated timeline. Silco, in Polk County around 7:04. It's about right now. Copper Hill around 7:35. High House just across the state line by 7:53. So again, 35 to 40. Some downpours and even a little bit of lightning with that, but a little windy in those areas. And there's movement, heavy rain reaching Turtletown, heavy rain along 64. That's over near the Parksville Lake area. And dropping down southern Polk County, going to get a lot of heavy rain right through all those valley pockets there. And same thing, be aware in Fannin County and Blue Ridge. This is going to be before 8 o'clock. Rain and some strong gusts coming up and over the mountains there. Same thing, northern Gilmer County. So just be aware of that. Dalton gets some heavy downpours now. And you're probably going to get some strong gust with that too. We'll check this out for you. And probably gusting a 30 mile an hour range. Yeah, close to 30. So that's again above the surface, but still, wind-driven rain, some slow traffic down. Lafayette, you just got out of a downpour. You got more rain coming your way. And again, just to show you, the wind gust there on the mountaintops there, close to 40. This is on lookout here. It's 32, at least above lookout. So you're still in that 30, 40 mile an hour range. And the threshold for severe is 58. So we're way below that. So that's a good thing. So folks, there again is what we're watching. I'm just going to keep an eye on. Again, we're going to end this feed for now. Again, as we watch kind of the heavy rain roll by, rainy, windy, and you know, from Dalton, Barnell, Chatsworth, wind and rain coming on through, but this remains below severe levels. But just be advised, just below severe level advisories, and we'll continue to watch this. Should anything become severe, we'll let you know. But that's sort of an update on the radar and forecast briefing. And I think between the 8 and 9 o'clock hour, a lot of this is exiting off to the east rather rapidly, and things will be improving the rest of the night. Well, some patchy fog will settle in, and then we get sunshine the next couple of days. I'll continue watching all this. Everyone have a safe evening, and we will have more broadcasts when needed as we go through the rest of the night. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you again on Fox Channel at 10, News Channel 9 at 11, or if needed, on live stream if conditions change. Stay safe, everybody.